Hi, my name is Matt, and I got to play some Resident Evil 3 Remake, and here's what I think about it. So right off the bat, I do have to admit, I am a big fan of the original Resident Evil 3, so I had a lot of expectations going into this one, and to be honest, it's pretty awesome. So it's a bit of a reimagining, like Resident Evil 2 Remake, but it kind of does it way more so than that game does. In Resident Evil 2 Remake, you showed up in the RPD, and there's all these familiar sights and sounds and just sort of areas, but in Resident Evil 3 Remake, you're just out in Raccoon City, and everything about that and the sort of the structure of that area is different. There are different shops, there are different roads, alleyways, pathways through the city that completely reimagine the original experience. So since this takes place in Raccoon City, it is a bit more open, right? I mean, of course, you're running through the streets in the original, but in this one, sort of the areas themselves have this more expansive quality. So there are similarities to the original Resident Evil 3 in that it shares a lot of somewhat identical objectives. I had to power up the substation to get a train going, to get out of Raccoon City. There's a whole section in the original where you did that. But in this remake, the path to getting there is drastically different. The areas that you're exploring are not anywhere remotely resembling the original. You're going through like a drugstore, you're going through these weird alleyways, and even a 50s inspired donut shop. One of the examples of an area that's been replicated for the original but totally reimagined is the actual substation area itself. The big difference here is that instead of just kind of showing up and just kind of doing this little meter puzzle thing and zombies, I think that's how it was. You go there and it is infested with insects. They're giant insects. I'm trying to remember if it's those parasites that were infected by the T-virus, but they're there and they get up in your face and they can basically plant bugs inside your stomach. And one of the ways to stop that from happening, because that's a status condition, is to eat an herb. And so yeah, that's one of the big risks, right? You're in this infested substation. It was totally different. It was an interesting way to take on sort of an event from the original and expand it, make it this interesting set piece that was spooky and had me really leaning on sort of my headphone audio to be are you coming from the left or the right or behind me? I don't know. I think you're in front of me. Oh, you're scattering. You're skittering over there in the corner. If Resident Evil 3 can capitalize on that and kind of feature those iconic moments while just having all these different things in between, man, am I going to be so excited to just see what this is. It already seems so promising just based on some of the things that I've been able to experience from it just in the 2 hours that I've been playing. So Resident Evil 3 Remake plays like Resident Evil 2 Remake, right? It's built on the same engine, the RE engine, but like the original, there's an increase in action, right? It's emphasized that much more. I mean, because look, you're out on the city streets. There are zombies everywhere. And so you kind of have to liberally use your ammo and your resources a butt ton. It's just, you are challenged to confront enemies much more than you did in Resident Evil 2 Remake. You get more ammo, for example, but another big important addition this time around is that you have a dodge maneuver that allows you to dodge in sort of any direction in order to sort of juke past zombies. But it's also kind of cool because if you time it correctly, you can do what's called a perfect dodge, which is kind of a little bit like the original. They had that kind of element in it with that dodge mechanic from that game. But in this one, when you do a perfect dodge, Jill will just roll to the side and then she'll instantly aim at a zombie's head in slow motion. It's kind of like Vanquish if you know that game. It's, as you can kind of tell, a lot more action-oriented, just in general, across the board. That said, even though there's an emphasis on action, it's still spooky Resident Evil. It's still, hey, we're not going to give you all the ammo like Resident Evil 2 Remake. You have to do a lot of sort of risk-reward management decision-making as you're exploring this hectic environment. If anything, the action focus isn't so much that there's just a butt ton of zombies and you feel very empowered. It's that you are just engaging with enemies more. You're engaging with having to deal with how am I going to get past this threat? And so that's what I mean. It's elevated in that sense. It's less like, let's go through a hallway. Oh my God, one zombie. How am I gonna get through this? It's more like, oh my gosh, I'm on the street. There are 5 zombies there, and there's a zombie over there, and I think there's one behind me. So I feel like this conversation wouldn't be complete without talking about the Nemesis, which has returned. Which is like, Mr. X, like from Resident Evil 2 Remake, but way more aggressive. Nemesis, you'll come out eventually, as to be expected. And he's interesting because, like Mr. X, he will pursue you and try to hit you and try to, get in your face. But the difference is, with Mr. X in Resident Evil 2 Remake, you could mostly get past them pretty easily, right? Like, oh, I see you over there. There's a desk. I'm gonna run in this direction. Good luck going around it. I'm gonna buy some time and get out of your face. With Resident Evil 3 Remake, Nemesis is ridiculous in how fast he can be. He can catch up to you very quickly, in the sense of like, you're just running ahead and you think that like, oh yeah, he's not gonna punch me. No, he punches you. Like when you see him and you choose to run away, he can instantly just like jump right in front of you the moment that you try to make a beeline for an exit. And it's ridiculous. Like he'll just knock over zombies in front of you if they happen to be in the path. This is kind of where the action also comes into play, right? You're still managing your resources, but you're dealing with a dude who, to be honest, you have to engage with him. He is way more aggressive. He'll catch up to you incredibly quickly. And so this becomes a part of the whole decision-making process when you're fighting Nemesis. It's a fun sort of mix, a fun little sort of iteration, really, on Mr. X in the sense of like, you have to fight him. There are times when, I was confronted with this choice of like, okay, I need to get to this train station right now, but he's in the way. I need to throw a grenade because like, I can't deal with this. I'm running out of herbs and first aid sprays and ammo. So let us know in the comments below if you're as juiced as I am about Resident Evil 3 Remake. And of course, stay tuned for more content around the game coming soon at GameSpot. Once again, I'm Matt. Thank you for watching. Stars.